Today I want to talk to you about the circumstances around the cleaning up of evidence that I have been kidnapped, and by my kidnappers, because they were trying to cover up the fact that they had done such horrendous acts and warred against our royal family and our people. They were trying to clean up and cover up the fact that they had kidnapped me, and they were initially responsible for everything, and they joined in with our enemies, and behind our backs they bullied us and helped our enemies to attack us as well as they attacked. You ask yourself, is this really the Queen of Israel? Do they really have a queen? And I'm here to tell you, yes, we do, and I'm actually the Queen of Israel. And my husband, King Maluk Shabi, is actually the King of Israel. We are cousins, and we are very much in love, as you've seen from the websites and the videos that we have made, as you can tell by that. And the initial act in my kidnapping was the fact that my original birth certificate they tried to steal, my kidnappers, from Israel, but they were actually caught in the process, one of the thieves, and my birth certificate was retrieved and saved from the kidnappers' grasp. The kidnappers, however, didn't seem to know this, and they forced a false birth certificate that they made up, which is not the proper method. If a birth certificate is missing, they make up a paper saying they don't know where your birth certificate is, it's lost, and this is where you were born, and this is where around the time you were born. And I've seen papers like this before. I knew someone whose birth certificate burned up in a courthouse, someone and my family, and they replaced his birth certificate with a letter. He was very, very old. He was born in the 1800s. He carried that letter around with him all the time. Now, back to what happened to me initially. The people responsible for kidnapping me made up a false birth certificate. So my people asked them, why would you do that? They forced it up on us. Why would you make up a false certificate about her, saying that she isn't real, she's just plain and ordinary? Their explanation was, well, all the wackos will come out of the woodwork, and we have to keep her safe, and so no one knows actually who she is until the time people are supposed to know. But my kidnappers had no intention of doing that. The ones who made the false certificate, they actually had planned to kill me. So they made the false certificate. No one wanted to accept it. I refused to accept it, and they actually ended up kidnapping me one day, doing all the other things they had done to our royal family and our people. One day, when I went out to the store, when I lived in Russia and Ukraine, and where my great-great-grandmother comes from, she was born there. Anyway, so to make a long story short, yes, she was Jewish. To make a long story short, I was kidnapped, and then my kidnappers punched a hole in my brain where I lost my memory. Their prime opportunity to go ahead and try to push others into my place, saying that I was fake, and that the others that they pushed among themselves were actually real. These people don't come from Israel, but they came saying that they were our friends, and came trying to systematically destroy us and put themselves in our places. Their actual plot was to kill me, take our things, kill my husband, and kill our people, and take our things. Well, one of the methods in this was they systematically kill people around me. I don't know how they could have actually thought they could have gotten away with this. People who, we have a very large family. So, would my family know me? They could not say that others were me and I was actually fake, but they tried that actually. This is mashugana culp to me, and I can't understand why anybody actually thought they could get away with that. But they tried that actually. My memory started to return. My family was all around me, my people, my beloved husband, and they were hoping that I would remember, because they punched a hole in my brain while I slept, my kidnappers, and I just lost my memory. I didn't die, because there's God, people. They systematically kept on trying to kill me. I've been poisoned so many times, I can't even count. And the numerous other attacks on me that you know about from the website actually did happen. Even as of just a few weeks ago, I was stomped in my chest by one of the people who happened to cover up. Of course, he got arrested. He was also involved in told me he got arrested. They said that I knew that he was also involved in the murder of my little cousin. He did something like keep the ambulance from coming, making the police not come. when she lay on the street with her guts hanging out. She was 4 and I was 8. Anyway, so to make a long story short, they systematically tried to kill us off and take our things and become us. They pretended to be friends, but they were not friends at all, because behind our backs they helped to kill us. And it's horrendous, the things that they've done. One of the methods they used was to try to say that I was insane. I gave an example one time where I was someplace and the people told me, they're telling people you're crazy, and people who knew me, they're telling people and knew who I was real, that I was telling the truth. They're telling people you're crazy and that you're evil, and to do them a favor, to just kill you because you're wicked. And I passed by one of the people that was doing this. He was wearing dark glasses and he motioned like this to his head because he was talking to somebody in a restaurant and looking at me. 24 hours later, someone tried to kill me, a group of people. And later it was revealed that they said that if they didn't kill me, that they would all be finished. They were told by one of their group members responsible for helping to kidnap me. Another example would be one time I was in that mall. I had no memory of anything. I just knew that I was from Israel, and I was having memory. It was returning. Amnesia is only treated by putting you in a place familiar where you have been, and hopefully your memory will be triggered. That's the only way to treat it. And so, basically, long story short, I was in the mall, and I was standing looking in a window, and I see people go down the escalator, and they stop the escalator. They push the button, and it stops, and it makes a buzzer. I see the security guards in the mall, and they're close to the escalator. They turn around, and they say, "It was her," and they point to me, and I'm way far away from the escalator. There's no way that I could have pushed that, stop the escalator. Other examples would be when I was on the street, and people would just harass me, and then they start a commotion, and I'm standing there, and I get excited. I'm not doing anything to these people, and they haul me away and say, "She's crazy." Another example is one time I went into a grocery store, and I bought food, paid for it, came out, and a woman comes running out, and she goes, "She stole the food," and she calls the police. I didn't steal anything. So help me God, I swear. The police come, and then the woman says, "Well, maybe I'll just go back inside," and they go, "No. You called." They go through all my things, and every time they stop me, they take and steal things from me. Things to try to, say that the others that they were trying to push into my place, saying that they were real and I was fake. A process of identity theft. Horrendous identity theft, where you kill the people around the person that actually knows they're real, and take the things and try to move instruments of commerce that belong to the person or the person's family. It's horrendous, and it's beyond belief. Another example, there's so many examples. Like when I was on the train and I was trying to go, you know about this one, and I was trying to meet up with my husband, and I was stopped on the train on my way leaving the area where the kidnappers were actually located, and I was trying to go home. I'm stopped on the train going to another country, and when the person stopped me on the train, I'm sitting down, and he goes to another woman, and he asks the woman if she's me. He knows she's not me. And then he turns to me and he says, sit down. I'm sitting down in a chair. I'm looking at him. The woman next to me is looking at me like, what's wrong with him? Of course, at that time, they injected me with a chemical which stopped my cycle, and sprayed me with a chemical which took a lot of the collagen out of my skin. But because of God, it wasn't as bad as they thought, and I spent 5 months in Ukraine with cream treatments. Yes. And then I went to Cyprus and got medicine for the water buildup that caused heart damage. Or heart damage makes the water build up in your system. And from the chemical that they injected into me, which was the same one that they sprayed on me, because they bragged about that many years before they kidnapped me and punched a hole in my brain. So all the things I wrote to you on the website are true. My people and my family wanted you to know. Yes, we are royal Jews, and we are from King David. Our line goes back all the way to King David. And I married my cousin, as I said. And who's to say that nobody ever said we didn't exist? You would have known about us sooner. But because of the kidnapping and other things that happened to my husband and our beloved family and everything and our people, and it's been a later date, the people that were responsible for kidnapping never wanted you to know about us or me. They wanted to try to put others in our place. You would never have known about us if it hadn't been for God. We are real. and we are royal Jews.